On this Earth Day, our correspondents are fanning out around the globe to bring us stories about our planet's health. Our Earth Matters coverage begins with how deforestation threatens the Amazon rainforest. Vladimir Duthier just spent 3 days deep in the world's largest jungle, with scientists trying to understand the effects of cutting down so many trees. He joins us from a forest just outside Brazil's capital city, Brasilia. Vlad, good morning.
Good morning. For the past 20 years, environmentalists here in Brazil thought they were making progress as the rate of Amazon deforestation slowed way down. But now activists are noticing it's starting to speed up again. Combine that with a newly elected Brazilian president who's openly critical of environmental priorities, and the scientists we spent a week in the jungle with say they're seriously concerned. A trip to the Amazon is no simple journey, nor one lightly taken. Man, these bugs. It usually involves multiple flights on planes that get noticeably smaller as the regions get more remote. After another hour in the back of a truck, we're finally here. Tanguru Ranch. This 200,000-acre industrial farm may not be what you imagine as the Amazon, but it sits right up against these massive walls of dense rainforest. In essence, it's the last line of civilization and the front line in the battle against deforestation.
For us, this is a perfect laboratory to work. It's a very large farm. It's half forest and half farmland. So we're able to set up different experiments in both farmland and forest to see what the differences are.
Mike Coe is a soldier in that battle. As the head of the Woods Hole Research Center science station based here at the ranch, his weapons are data.
If you cut down the forest, you're just adding to global warming. You're doing it by increasing the amount of carbon that goes in the atmosphere, and you're doing it by just heating up the surface.
Since the rise of large-scale industrial farming here in the past 50 years, scientists like Coe estimate that almost 20% of the original Amazon has been deforested, cut down to make way for agriculture. To measure the impact of all those lost trees, you've got to get above it all.
This tower allows us to measure how forests are breathing in and out.
And that's where scientist Paulo Brando works.
First thing you notice when you're 130 feet above the Amazon is how breathtaking the view is from up here. But for scientists, it is not about the view. It's about the science.
That tree is probably 3 or 4 tons of carbon that is storing. So they assimilated carbon that otherwise would be in the atmosphere.
What happens if these trees are cut down and that carbon is released into the atmosphere?
This carbon goes into the atmosphere and contribute to heat trapping in the atmosphere.
There's as much carbon captured and stored in all the trees of the Amazon as the amount the entire planet has emitted over the past 10 years. Cut them down, and we effectively double the heat-trapping gases of the past decade. But the trees are more than just carbon containers.
In some regions of the Amazon, about 30% of the rain depends on the trees.
In some parts of the Amazon, it rains because of the trees.
Yes, because of the trees.
They're a key part of the global weather cycle. They soak up water from the soil, it evaporates off the treetops, and creates the life-giving rain that supports millions of people downwind.
I prefer to call it the air conditioner of the earth because all that water rains out somewhere else. So without that recycling of water, you've got a lot less rain, you've got a lot hotter planet.
Coe's data shows that with less trees, the dry season around here has expanded by 3.5 weeks in the past 50 years.
The problem is it's not being reforested. Each year there's more being taken out and there's none being replaced. So that's actually the problem.
Coe and his team may have discovered a solution by relying on the jungle's original inhabitants. Using field data and these remote cameras, the Woods Hole team has learned that large mammals actually are the best fertilizers.
They are great at eating seeds and then dropping them somewhere else.
Tracking those seeds, because those seeds, when they hit the ground, lead to reforestation.
Right. These animals are playing a big role in getting new trees to grow.
Also playing a big role, indigenous human populations who live in the area. With generations of climate knowledge over a huge swath of territory, they're the people most immediately affected by recent droughts and previously unheard of forest fires.
His grandfather recognized that there were changes happening.
Ele começou a ver, né? Things are changing here, and there would be a pressure squeezing them.
And they might also have some of the answers.
going to be really important to engage indigenous people in this whole discussion of how can we make a landscape that works for everyone.
Those native communities have long been protected by the Brazilian government, but that too is threatening to change. Brazil's new president, Jair Bolsonaro, recently shifted power over from the government's indigenous rights agency to the agricultural ministry, and some see that as just another attempt to exploit the rainforest that these people have relied on for their existence for generations, John.
Wow, Vlad, what a great story and what a great adventure for you. What was it like, by the way, just to experience the welcoming of the indigenous community?
It was absolutely fabulous, and to hear the chief's son, who we spoke to, tell us that his grandfather recognized these changes, it was incredibly moving. And there's a custom that happens when you do visit their village. They bring you to their crafts selection, and we picked something out for Gayle because it's yellow, it's bold, and it's in honor of you being named the Time 100, one of the Time 100 people. So we told them there were 3 chiefs back in New York, and this is for one of those chiefs.
Yeah, yellow is certainly my color. Listen, I wore this Earth dress today to go with it, to go with Earth Day. It looked better on the hanger, I have to say. I could have used that necklace today. Thank you very much. I feel like it looks like somebody threw up on me today.
Vlad, did you tell them how much Gayle loves necklaces?
We told them that. We told them how much Gayle loves necklaces and that she loves yellow.
Yes, I do.
And this is what they picked for us.
Yes, I do.
Beautiful.
Excellent choice, Vlad. And
Yeah.
let's save the trees. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank
nice
you. I
job.
really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Vlad.